So I'm trying something a little bit different than I've been doing lately. I got a bunch of these tiny little pedals that I bought online, a company called Rowin. So these are like tiny little pedals. You can see these are almost nothing. There's a lot of different ones and I'm testing them just kind of like casually. It's not really an in-depth review or anything, but I just wanted to test some pedals and see what they sound like, and maybe you can find something that you like. So the first one is the Blues. I am kind of assuming that this one might be something similar to the Boss Blues Driver or something like that. So it's like not a high gain pedal, I assume, but it's got 3 controls. It's got the volume, the gain and the tone, and then a normal and a fat switch. I'll be testing them through my Quad Cortex using 3 amplifiers. One of them is a Marshall JCM 800, one of them is a Fender Twin Reverb, and one is a Jazz Chorus. Depending on the pedal, I'll be using different amplifiers to see what works. Without any further ado, this is the Blues pedal by Rowin. Alright, so let's start off with a clean tone that I will use to demonstrate the pedal. The amplifier that we're using in the Quad Cortex right now is the Fender Twin Reverb, and it sounds like this. So it's clean enough so that you can hear the tone of the pedal, but at the same time it's got a little bit of like breakup. It's at the edge of breakup so that you can push the amp, or you can give it a little bit more. So let's start up with the pedal in this position here. That's what I would call the most neutral, kind of like knobs at 12 o'clock kind of setting. But since the pedal doesn't have a lot of volume, so at this setting that is about unity gain, so it doesn't boost a lot. So let's see what the pedal sounds like. So it adds a little bit of grit with a gain halfway. So it doesn't have a lot of gain, but enough to give you a bluesy kind of tone if you want. Let's see what happens when we turn up the gain a little bit further. Bit more gain. And the gain all the way up. Okay, let's tame it down a little bit more so that it's like not too much. Then we have this switch. This is the fat and the normal switch. So at the moment it's switched to normal. So let's see what happens when we switch it to fat. Honestly, I can't hear a big of a difference. I'm guessing it should be adding a little bit of low end to the tone, but for me, I'm not really hearing it. I'll give it another go. Let's switch it to a neck pickup to maybe emphasize the low end a little bit more. hear a very, very slight add of low end or something. It's just such a minor thing that I can't really say that it makes any difference at all, you know. Let's go for a cleaner amp. We'll go for the Jazz Chorus. Let's see if this one can emphasize it a bit more, because it's much, much cleaner than the other one. It's so minor that it's barely audible. All right, let's go back to the Fender, because it just sounds so nice. Let's go for a lower gain tone. So the Fender already sounds pretty good, but like with less gain, a bit more volume, and, you know, turning up the tone just a little bit like that, I think it gives it a nice sparkle. So okay, so I've got a Marshall JCM 800, just moderately driven, nothing too bad. Let's see what it sounds like with the volume all the way up and just a little bit of gain. So before. Add some gain. So all in all, I think this pedal actually delivers on the promise of the name, blues. It's a bluesy pedal with like a little bit gain, not a lot of gain, but enough so that you can both use the volume to drive the amp just a little bit, and then you can use the gain to kind of make it a little bit more saturated. So blues players are not known for using high gain stuff, so I think it has good sustain, it has good tone. Too bad this fat and normal switch doesn't really work the way it seems that it should. I'm not gonna take it apart and check. You know, with the promise of a fat switch, it could have been nice for, you know, some players. For the price tag, it's a good pedal. I mean, you can't go wrong with this if you just want to make like a really, really small rig, cram a bunch of pedals onto a really small pedal board and have a bunch of options, because there's a ton of different pedals that they make. Subscribe, comment, share, like, all that stuff. What you think of the pedal? Let me know in the comments down below.